Ray Brown's Talking Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com. By FeatherSnap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiast. Learn more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Vortex Optics, with the VIP warranty, their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, and welcome to our show number 1011, live on the 10th of November, which makes it show 1011 on 1110. On today's show, we'll talk about finches with finch expert and fabulous new finch guide co-author Matt Young. And we'll hear from Mike O'Connor about a bird that looks like a finch but isn't. And we'll have a listener audio postcard from New Zealand featuring a bird that is also not a finch, but that could probably mimic various finch species. And we have another beautiful listener-provided audio postcard. It's from Kimberly Mutu, who sent us a long-distance message from an Australasian part of Oceania.
Good morning. This is Kimberly here in Hobsonville Point, Auckland, New Zealand. The songs you hear behind me are all from one bird. This is the song thrush. It is a mimic, and it is singing all the different songs of the birds in this area. Take a listen. Well, that's all from here now. Bye.
Bye, and thank you, Kimberly. They're from Hobsonville Point, Auckland, New Zealand. We'd love to get audio postcards from wherever you're hearing or seeing birds. How to make one? Grab your smartphone or borrow one or some digital device and just record what you're seeing or hearing. 30 seconds worth, maybe a minute. No, we're not fussy about the time length, just to let us know what you're seeing or hearing there and make a little file, which happens automatically, I guess, on your phone, and then just email that to ray@talkingbirds.com. That's ray@talkingbirds.com. This one is not a song thrush, but it kind of has a connection to the theme of our show today. This is a preview of our mystery bird contest. And here's a description of that bird. It's a small songbird that breeds from southern Alaska to all across Canada, as well as in the western U.S., and often wanders into much of the lower 48 states and southern Canada in winter. The male, generally red. The female is an olive or greenish-yellow color. Its wings are nearly black, as are its bill, legs, and feet. It has a notched tail and dark brown eyes. And our bird's bill has a special adaptation that helps it get at the conifer seeds that make up virtually all of its diet. That's a clue, or a bunch of clues, or a few clues on our mystery bird, and we have some wonderful prizes here, including an extra special one, which I'll describe in a second. First, we have a Brome Squirrel Solution 150 feeder, and yes, it is genuinely squirrel-proof and chew-proof as well, and easy to clean, and even features a vented seed tray to keep the seed fresh and dry. Another wonderful feeder from Brome. And we have a 1-year subscription to the new birding magazine, BWD. Founded in 1978 as Birdwatchers Digest, it's back and better than ever, with every issue packed with beautiful photography, illustrations, and in-depth articles. Here's the extra special prize. It's a copy of the book that we're going to be talking about here, The Stokes Guide to Finches of the United States and Canada. So that's another extra special prize on our mystery bird contest. The clues there, the sound, and we'll do the contest a little bit later on, just kind of getting you ready for it. Here's our weekly salute to another Talkin' Birds ambassador. Ambassadors are listeners who have kind of stepped up to a new level in helping us spread the word about our show and about birds and conservation, which is what we're trying to promote around here. And we want to say thank you to Cindy Milford from Canyon Lake, Texas. They're in Hill Country, Central Texas. Thank you so much, Cindy. It's hard to overstate how important Talkin' Birds ambassadors are to us because they are the way that we reach thousands of new folks about birds and conservation. They are really a great, important pipeline for us, and it is very easy to be a Talkin' Birds ambassador. We send you some cards, and you hand these little cards out to your friends and neighbors at your convenience. And to sign up, just go to talkinbirds.com. That's talkinbirds.com. And click on the Get Involved tab. That's up there at the top of the homepage. Well, still to come today, we'll talk with Finch expert Matt Young about the fabulous new Stokes Guide to Finches of the United States and Canada that he's co-written with famous bird guide creator Lillian Stokes. Also today, Mike O'Connor will join us for a Let's Ask Mike segment, almost live from the archive, about a species that's the state bird of how many states? And up next, a bird that was introduced into the U.S. Midwest about 150 years ago and has pretty much stayed there since, is today's featured feathered friend. The Eurasian tree sparrow looks, to this viewer at least, like a house sparrow after a trip to the beauty salon. Male and female Eurasian tree sparrows, which look alike, have a black chin, like the male house sparrow, but the Eurasian tree sparrow's chin plumage forms a neat, tight V, while the house sparrow's is rather unkempt looking and dissolves into a messy sprinkling of charcoal-colored bits on its chest. And the Eurasian tree sparrow has handsome chestnut color on its head, contrasting with the dull brown crown of the house sparrow. Like the house sparrow, the Eurasian tree sparrow is an introduced species in North America, descended from a dozen birds that were released in the spring of 1870 in St. Louis, Missouri, apparently to provide newly settled European immigrants with a species that they knew. Unlike the house sparrow, which is found all over the U.S. and Canada and almost everywhere else on the planet, the Eurasian house sparrow in the U.S. is found almost exclusively in areas across northeast Missouri, west central Illinois, and southeastern Iowa. It inhabits farms and sparsely wooded areas near people, but it's not a city bird like its passer genus relative. Neither of these birds is closely related to New World sparrow species. According to the North American Breeding Bird Survey, Eurasian tree sparrow populations increased sharply from the mid-1960s to 2015. No estimates of the North American population have been reported, but Partners in Flight databases estimate a global breeding population of 250 million individuals, and they list the bird among species of least conservation concern. One other thing our bird has in common with the house sparrow, a somewhat monotonous, non-musical song. It's Passer montanus, today's Talkin' Birds featured feathered friend, the Eurasian tree sparrow. Welcome again to our show. Do I need to mute something here? Anyway, welcome to our show, number 1011. All right, we're going to get a little engineering help here because we got a little extra stuff going on here. I think I need to vote. I think I fixed it there. I muted my speaker on my laptop. You think this is easy? All right. Anyway, thanks again for being with us here. Matt Young is the founder and board president of the Finch Reserve Network. He's worked at the Cornell Lab of Ornithology for 15 years and was the project lead on the lab's first eruptive finch survey in 1999. He's widely known as a preeminent authority on the finches of North America, and he has now co-written a remarkable new book, a new guide with legendary bird guide creator Lillian Stokes. It's the Stokes Guide to Finches of the United States and Canada, and Matt is here to tell us about it. Good morning, Matt. I'll push this one here. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Ray. Thanks for having me on the show today.
All right, you're welcome. We're happy to hear from you. But we're still getting this little echo here. I thought we had fixed that, but maybe not. I'm going to try pushing this. Can I still hear you, Matt?
Yeah, I hope so.
Now we've got it figured out. Yes, we forgot, putting tab B into slot A. That was the problem there. But we're just trying to show you just how difficult this all is. Matt, this is just one beautiful chunk of a book, about 330 pages, and as the book jacket says, more than 345 stunning full-color photographs, more than 50 range maps covering 43 species, and that's just the first of 9 bullet points about the book. Your co-author has said that the two of you comprise a dream team, which sounds like a perfect description, and you've been actually dreaming of writing a book like this for quite a long time. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's definitely spot on. It's, this is kind of a project that I've kind of had in my head. I've had this passion for finches for 25 to 30 years. It started at Yellowstone at Lower Falls in June of 95 when a flock of red crossbills flew in above me. And, I just couldn't get enough of finches over the last 30 years. And, one thing, finches, in fact, crossbills are what, kind of ended up becoming the genesis for this book and led Lillian and I together and to meet. Mm-hmm. And, Lillian always mentions, the crossbills recruited her to do the book. So, yeah, it's a dream to be able to then take all this knowledge that I've kind of gathered over the last 30 years and put this together with Lillian Stokes.
Mm-hmm. It was almost inevitable, it seems. Tell us about a little bit, Matt, how the book is put together and some of its features.
Yeah, so we have several main sections. It's the bulk of the book is made up of the main, breeders in the United States and Canada. There's 17 of those. And then we kind of do a section, and it's color-coded. The book's color-coded, so you can kind of, easily flip to various parts of the book. And then it goes, then we do a section on vagrants. There's, a couple handfuls of vagrants, vagrant finches to North America. Then we do a special section on the honey creepers of Hawaii, which are actually Fringillidae finches. In a big conservation topic because, there's only 16 of the 54 original species that adaptively radiated there 5 million years ago. And then we kind of do special chapters on, one of the big things that Lillian and Don made very popular was that accessibility and popularity of backyard feeder birds. And finches are a great feeder birds, so we do a section on kind of feeder watching and gardening for finches, and then there's also a section on eruptions and the winter finch forecast and the history of eruptions, and then we do a research and conservation section as well to kind of get into the deeper, conservation issues like the honey creepers again and the evening grosbeak project that I'm a co-lead on the international working group because it's declined 92% over the last 50 years. So,
all those easy-to-access features and, as you're describing, some deep dives in there as well. And by the way, this might be the only bird guide I've seen that features an interview with a bird that I believe Lillian conducted with a Lawrence's goldfinch, right? That was a good bird to choose for this, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the there's a few really, what I would say, some of the more incredible pieces of this book. And one of those are these amazing creative essays that Lillian did for the bulk of she did one for each of the main breeding birds. And then she did one for the honey creepers, just one account for it. But anyway, these creative essays were a way of kind of bringing the personality of the bird to life and the natural history of the bird to life. And so Lawrence's goldfinch, she does this really kind of mock interview with Lawrence's goldfinch and asks, how do you feel about your name? And she did this before the whole name change thing was even kind of known. Lawrence's goldfinch and Cassin's finch are the two finches in the book that the name will eventually be changed.
Mm-hmm. We'll digress just for a moment here, and I maybe not fair to ask you to do this in 30 seconds, but could you, going back to the finch forecast, can you give us a very quick thumbnail overview of what we can expect for wintering finches coming down from the boreal forests this year?
Yeah. So, Ron Pittaway started this back in the 90s in the Finch Research Network that I founded with the board of directors. And Tyler Orr is now the new Finch forecaster. We put out this forecast now every year in September, one of the more highly anticipated, articles. And basically, the end of the day, it's kind of a mixed bag year. It's a Swiss cheese. As Tyler said, it's a Swiss cheese food crop in the boreal forest, partly due to forest fires up there and big spruce budworm outbreaks. And so in those areas of the fire and the budworm outbreaks, there's no food really there. So birds that are in those areas will come through and come our way, and birds outside of those areas might stick and linger for a while. So it's kind of a moderate flight of purple finches and evening grosbeaks is kind of what we mainly predicted this year. Mm-hmm. However, it's a forecast, so there's always variability with that. There was a huge movement of white-winged crossbills through the northern tier states yesterday. Mm-hmm. And so it looks like we're going to have at least some of them around this year. Mm-hmm. And, there's been some pretty good siskin movement, too. No big numbers, but it's, I think we're going to have a sprinkling of finches around. It's not going to be a year devoid of them. We'll have some around. So, it'll be interesting to watch, like it always is every year, see how it unfolds.
Indeed. Well, Matt, we're really short on time here. I just want to mention about the fact that you and Lillian are both social workers, and that background, it gives you a special insight into the human connection with birds, and that really shows up in your book. And I just wanted to make a mention of that. We know so much, or we've learned so much about the real healing power of connecting to birds and nature for people. And before we go, I want to do one of the quotes on your book, because there are many from so many people raving about your book. And this one is from our friend John Kreischer, who is a great bird author in his own right. He says, "Brilliantly conceived, magnificently illustrated, and full of information that any birder would devour. It would not surprise me if this unique guide earns the rank of top bird book of the year. My opinion." That's from John Kreischer, and echoed by many others.
It's a unique book in that we tried to give something for the novice birder to the expert birder, and made it an interesting read. We wanted to make it an interesting read, unlike a lot of guides out there. So
it is indeed, and of course we're in the holiday season. I can recommend this to a lot of people for the holiday season. As John Kreischer said there, any birder would devour this book, and I will associate myself with those remarks. The book is The Stokes Guide to Finches of the United States and Canada. Been talking with co-author Matt Young. Matt, congratulations on the book, and may it find the great success it deserves.
Thanks a lot for having me on, Ray, and thanks for all the kind words about the book. Always a pleasure to talk to you every few years.
Our pleasure, indeed. Matt Young here on Talking Birds, and up next, it's our Mystery Bird contest in just 1 minute. Of a tail feather, the flash of a wing bar in mid-flight. You don't always have a lot of time to identify a bird in nature, let alone to appreciate its beauty. But with Vortex Optics, you'll have the power to bring every wild moment closer. When you choose Vortex, you're choosing to have a partner in the field as passionate about nature as you are. Whether you're spotting old friends on the backyard feeder or packing for a once-in-a-lifetime trip to add a few species to your life list, Vortex offers a full range of optics and optics accessories for every birder and every budget. And whether the birds are taking you to another state or another country, you're always covered by the Vortex VIP warranty, an unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. If you'd like to learn more, or if you need help choosing your next optic, give Vortex a call at 1-800-4VORTEX or visit vortexoptics.com. It's our mystery bird, definitely connected to our general topic on the show this morning. A small songbird that breeds from southern Alaska to all across Canada. The male is red, female in olive or greenish yellow. Wings are nearly black, as are its bill, legs, and feet. It has a notched tail, dark brown eyes, and a bill with a special adaptation that helps it get at the conifer seeds that make up virtually all of its diet. Look at these prizes: a Brome's Squirrel Solution 150 feeder, a 1-year subscription to the new birding magazine BWD, founded as Birdwatcher's Digest, and a copy of that spectacular book, The Stokes Guide to Finches of the United States and Canada, that we've been talking about here this morning. Prizes on our Mystery Bird contest. The key is to call us as soon as you can, so we'll actually be able to do the contest. And that is 781-837-4900. That's 781-837-4900 for our Mystery Bird contest. And coming along next here, almost live from the archive, Let's Ask Mike in just 1 minute.
Ready to take your backyard bird watching to the next level? FeatherSnap makes Wi-Fi-enabled smart bird feeders that blend the best of technology and nature. Get a high-def glimpse of your feathered friends with a top-of-the-line camera so every visitor can be seen with clarity and detail. A unique dual feeder bin helps attract more species, and built-in solar panels keep your camera's battery going strong. FeatherSnap's mobile app creates a truly immersive experience, allowing you to collect and organize your favorite pics and videos and earn badges along the way. FeatherSnap is a convenient and fun way to capture powerful images of your local birds and help get your friends and family excited about bird watching. Best of all, FeatherSnap offers expert-trained AI identification of more than 275 North American species, thanks to their in-house ornithologist. Check them out today at feathersnapcam.com. feathersnapcam.com.
All right, we're about to hear from the man who first revealed that the Northern Cardinal is the state bird of 75 U.S. states, and that would be Mike O'Connor there at the famous Birdwatcher's General Store. Good morning, Mike.
Oh, good morning, Ray. I'm not happy though. I thought I was going to win that Vortex spotting scope for sure, and that Adam. I'm really happy about
I don't believe you sent us an entry.
You and your details. I can't believe you.
Technicalities reign supreme around here, I'll tell you. Yeah, well, maybe we'll do this again. But, I don't think I mentioned this. I meant to, that we are going to have another fabulous Vortex prize soon. So,
okay.
So you can.
I feel better now.
And you don't even have to send in an entry necessarily for this one. We'll explain later.
That's my style.
So Cardinals.
But you're right, though. I once wrote a thing about Cardinals, how popular they are. Everybody loves Cardinals, and everybody thinks they're either the best bird in the world, or they think. So a lot of people think they're like Aunt Ginny's come back from the beyond to visit, and they're like mystical. And I wrote a thing once, and I did say that they're the state bird of like over 75 U.S. states. Kind of do an exaggeration.
A slight exaggeration, yeah.
Exaggeration, but then it made, back when Jay Leno did the Tonight Show, he used to have headlines. So he posted that, saying like, this guy's an idiot. He thinks there's 75 states. When a comedian doesn't get my jokes, I guess it's time for a rewrite.
No wonder he's doing car stuff now instead.
But you know who doesn't like Cardinals? Ornithologists. They struggle with this bird because They have a little trouble getting its family together. To me, a cardinal looks like a big finch. You know, it looks like a house of purple finch. It's got the big beak. It's got the red going on. Well, it must be a finch. But they're not finches. They don't fit into the finch family, apparently. They're more closely related to tanagers, which kind of surprised me. You know, tanagers, you know, a lot of them are red and stuff, but they don't have the same shaped bill, and they don't eat the seeds like the cardinals do. But I don't know who makes this call. But they're closely related to tanagers. And another bird they're related to is even more of a head scratcher is a dick sissel. Dick sissel is a ground-feeding bird that, to me, looks like a sparrow. In breeding plumage, they get a lot of yellow on them, but in non, they're kind of dull, and they hang around with the sparrows.
The flutter of a tail.
Somehow, according to their studies, these guys are related to cardinals also. So you got tanagers, you got dick sissels. None of those remind me of cardinals, but there you go. The birds that do make sense are grosbeaks.
Yeah.
Cardinals are related to grosbeaks, but not all grosbeaks, and they're also related to buntings, but not all buntings. So there's a lot of people working hard for this, trying to sort it out. But to me, I say, let those people worry about where the cardinals belong. I would just say, join them at your feeder and see them in the morning on your feeder and welcome them and say good morning to Aunt Jenny, and everybody will be fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it. All right. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, talk next week, Ray.
Mike O'Connor at the famous Birdwatchers General Store in Cape Cod. Let's hurry back to the Mystery Bird Contest. While we have time here, that's the sound of our mystery bird, and Todd is in North Carolina with an answer or a guess for us. Hello, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well, Todd. How are you? What's your answer there on the Mystery Bird Contest?
Is it the red crossbeak?
The red crossbeak. Jesse has given us one of those ooh kind of looks there, and that's kind of a way of saying that's a pretty close guess. I'm going to give you another try on that because you're so close. You could maybe just rephrase a little bit there, slightly. Does that make any sense? Could you want to try it again there, Todd?
Absolutely. The
yeah.
Red cross bill.
The red cross bill, exactly. We had to give you a second choice because that was almost really the right answer. A beak or bill, kind of the same thing, but we know what you meant, and therefore you have won the prize there. And let's see, maybe we have time for a. We don't really have time for this question, do we? Maybe. Yeah, let's try it. You want to try our bonus question?
Sure, why not?
Some birds can use tools, the crow family especially known for that. Now there's another animal that's being regarded as a tool user. Which is it? A, the great blue heron. B, the Nile crocodile. C, the American dipper. Or D, the humpback whale. Which one of those might it be?
I'm going to go with the American dipper.
It's actually the humpback whale. And we're sort of short on time, so we'll explain why that is on our next show. But Todd, stay on the line. We'll get your info and send you all that stuff.
Thanks very much.
All right. There's Todd fighting through a storm or something maybe. But anyway, he got the answer on our mystery bird quiz, which was the red crossbill. Okay. Well, continuing with what has been something of a tradition here, we'll welcome another Talkin' Birds listener as next week's special guest. She's Donna Poissant, a blind birder who teaches a birding by ear course at the University of Michigan. She'll be with us next week. And next week we also have another very special mystery bird contest. Thanks to our amazing Talkin' Birds team, Debbie Bleacher, Freya McGregor, and our producing engineer, Jesse Wilkins. I'm Ray Brown. See you next week.
The bird show. I like that. I love it.
Ray Brown's Talkin' Birds.
Made possible by the generous support of the Birdwatchers General Store, Orleans, Cape Cod. Birdwatchersgeneralstore.com. By Feathersnap, the smart bird feeder with a high-resolution camera and species identification software aimed to educate and spread joy to every level of avian enthusiast. Learn more at feathersnapcam.com.
And by Vortex Optics with the VIP warranty. their unlimited lifetime promise to keep you and your optic covered. Learn more at vortexoptics.com.